Some of you, particularly my family members, were at my wedding 2 years ago, in which Tim he was my best man, and he gave a very clever and touching speech. My wife Alice and I are both historians, so we met while working at the Constitution Center in Philadelphia. And so what Tim did, he started with a quote by Benjamin Franklin, and then he took the preamble of the Constitution, that's the "we the people" part, and he modified it to talk about the union of Alice and I. It was very moving, very clever, quite brilliant, and I've been trying to figure out how to follow that. So I decided the easiest way to give an equally good speech would be just to shamelessly copy his idea. But instead of using the US Constitution, I figured I should find some founding documents of computer science, dated computer geeks rather than history geeks. So I searched through all the archives I used for my historical research, looking for such a document, and I've come to the conclusion that either there is no founding document of computer science, or it was written after the Civil War, and thus out of my range. So I gave up on that idea, and then I thought, because the wedding is in Roanoke, maybe I could make a speech about one of my favorite historical figures who I'm currently writing about, John Randolph of Roanoke, a Virginia congressman from the early 19th century. But then I thought about it more, and I realized that the same things that make me find Randolph so fascinating make him ill-suited for a wedding celebration, namely that he was a self-loathing, opium-addicted, alcoholic lunatic who was also impotent. So I gave up on that idea also. But, so I've lived in Virginia for 3 years now, and we recently celebrated Confederate History Month. So I thought maybe I could play up the kind of north-south difference, me being now a native southerner basically. I could tease these two liberal Yankee elitists for coming down here, disrupting our southern agrarian way of life with their newfangled notions of, let me get this right, smart collocation in virtualized data centers, and multi-agent fault tolerance programs. Whatever that means. So, I mean, people have been farming and writing history for thousands of years. I don't know why these two have to follow this new fad of computers. It's just a fad, it's not going to last. But anyway, they can't be old-fashioned like the rest of us. But then I realized that perhaps I'm only making fun of computer science because we fear what we don't understand, and I have to admit I don't understand what smart collocation or any of that stuff meant. And I realized part of the problem is just that we speak different languages than these computer geek people. But because it's their wedding, I won't make them change. Instead, I'll change. I'm going to give the rest of the speech in a language they'll understand, binary code. All right, here we go. 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. You messed me up. I gotta start over now. 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. I'm sorry, I also wrote it out in English. Let me switch to that. So, as I was saying, I've known Tim his entire life, and he's a great guy. I've seen him grow up from being a great little brother to a great taller brother, and now to a great young man. Tim is incredibly caring, smart, hardworking, funny, and sincere, and he deserves a great wife, and I know he's found one in Megan, who also shares all of those character traits. And I remember when we first heard about Megan from Tim when he began his graduate school. It's still kind of shady though. We don't know the whole details. What we heard is that he'd gotten mono soon after beginning his graduate program, which seemed a bad way to start an intensive graduate school. But then he told us it was okay because another student was nursing him back to health. A female student whose name turned out to be Megan, and the rest, as they say, is history. But we still don't really know what happened. Did Tim fall for Megan and then decide to fake the illness, thinking he'd be attracted to a weak, pitiful, pathetic man? Or did Megan fall for Tim and then poison him so he couldn't visit any of the all-girls schools near Amherst? We may never know. But anyway, Tim and Megan are a wonderful pair, and we are very happy to welcome Megan and her family into our family. And we all wish Tim and Megan the best and know they'll have a wonderful life together. Cheers.